The rain pounded against the windshield like 1,000 tiny drums, each drop echoing the chaos in my heart. It was past midnight, and there I was, parked outside my boss's upscale apartment building, the city lights blurring through the storm. Elena, my fiercely independent, always composed boss, was slumped in the passenger seat, her usually sharp eyes softened by too many glasses of wine from the office party. She turned to me, her voice a slurred whisper that cut through the noise. "Alex. Would you like to stay?" My hand froze on the gear shift. Stay? What did she mean? The air between us thickened with unspoken words, and just as I opened my mouth to respond. But wait, how did we even get here? Let me take you back to the beginning, because this night wasn't just about a simple drop-off. It was the culmination of months of hidden glances, buried emotions, and a connection that neither of us saw coming. If you're watching this, stick around. Things are about to get real emotional. My name is Alex Thompson, a 28-year-old graphic designer at Apex Marketing, a bustling firm in downtown Chicago. I'd been there for 2 years, grinding through late nights and creative deadlines, all under the watchful eye of Elena Vasquez, our department head. Elena was the kind of woman who commanded a room without trying. Mid-30s, with dark hair that cascaded like a waterfall, piercing green eyes that could spot a typo from across the office, and a laugh that was rare but infectious when it surfaced. She was a single mom to a spirited 7-year-old daughter named Mia, and she'd built her career from the ground up after a messy divorce. Everyone respected her, but few knew the real her, the one who hid vulnerabilities behind a wall of professionalism. I, on the other hand, was the reliable guy in the corner cubicle. Grew up in a small town in Ohio, moved to the city chasing dreams of art and stability. I had my own baggage, a string of failed relationships that left me wary of getting too close to anyone, especially at work. Dating your boss? That was a recipe for disaster, or so I thought. But Elena and I had this unspoken synergy. We'd collaborate on projects late into the evening, sharing ideas over cold coffee, and sometimes, in those quiet moments, our conversations would drift to personal territory. She'd talk about Mia's school plays, and I'd share stories of my hikes in the Appalachians. It was innocent, or at least that's what I told myself. It all started innocently enough on a crisp autumn morning 6 months ago. The office was buzzing with the launch of a major campaign for an eco-friendly brand. Elena had assigned me as lead designer, a big vote of confidence. "Alex, I trust your vision," she'd said, her hand briefly touching my shoulder. That touch lingered in my mind longer than it should have. As we worked side by side, I noticed the little things, how she bit her lip when concentrating, the way she tucked a stray hair behind her ear, the subtle scent of her jasmine perfume. I found myself looking forward to our meetings, not just for the work, but for her. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, we were the last ones in the office. The sun had dipped below the skyline, casting long shadows across the desks. "You know, Alex," she said, leaning back in her chair, "you're more than just talented. You see the heart in things. That's rare." I blushed, mumbling something about teamwork. But then she opened up, really opened up. My ex-husband, he left when Mia was 3. Said the corporate life was too much for him. I've been carrying it all since then. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever let anyone in again. Her voice cracked just a little, and in that vulnerability, I saw the woman behind the boss. I shared my own story, how my last girlfriend had cheated, leaving me questioning if I was enough. We talked for hours, the barriers crumbling like autumn leaves. From there, our interactions deepened. We'd grab lunch together, discussing everything from favorite books to life regrets. Mia even became a topic. Elena showed me photos of her daughter's artwork, beaming with pride. I started feeling protective, like I wanted to shield them both from the world's harshness. But there was always that line, the professional one. I couldn't cross it. Or could I? The first real challenge came during the holiday season. The office Christmas party was in full swing at a swanky hotel ballroom. Lights twinkled, music pulsed, and Elena looked stunning in a red dress that hugged her figure. I'd had a couple of drinks to loosen up, and we ended up dancing. Her hand in mine felt electric. "You're a good dancer, Alex," she teased, her breath warm against my ear. As the night wore on, she confided that the holidays were tough without family around. "Mia's with her dad this year. It's just me and an empty apartment." My heart ached for her. When the party ended, she was tipsy, not drunk, but enough to need a ride. "I can call a cab," she insisted, but I wouldn't hear it. "Let me drive you home. It's no trouble." The drive was quiet at first, filled with small talk about the party's highlights. But as we neared her building, she turned serious. "Alex, why are you so kind to me? Most people keep their distance." I gripped the wheel tighter. "Because you deserve it, Elena. You're amazing." She smiled, but there was a sadness in her eyes. We pulled up, and she lingered in the car. "Thank you. Really." As she got out, she paused, looking back. "See you Monday?" I nodded, but inside, I was reeling. Had I said too much? Was this the start of something, or just a moment? Little did I know, that night planted the seeds for bigger complications. The next week, rumors started swirling in the office. Someone had seen us leaving together, and whispers of favoritism began. "Alex is getting all the prime projects because he's cozying up to the boss," I overheard in the break room. It stung. I confronted Elena about it in her office. "We need to be careful," I said, my voice low. She nodded, her face paling. "I know. But Alex, I don't want to lose what we have." "What we have?" The words hung in the air like a promise. But then, the door burst open, our CEO, Mr. Harlan, with a stack of reports. "Everything okay here?" he asked, eyeing us suspiciously. We mumbled assurances, but the tension was palpable. That was our first cliffhanger. Would the rumors destroy our budding connection before it even began? We tried to keep things professional after that. Meetings were strictly business, lunches became group affairs. But the pull was undeniable. I'd catch her staring during presentations, and she'd quickly look away. One afternoon, Mia got sick at school, fever and all. Elena had to leave early, panic in her voice. "I hate this. Being a single parent means no backup." Without thinking, I offered, "Let me help. I can bring soup or something after work." She hesitated, then accepted. That evening, I showed up at her door with chicken noodle soup and children's books. Mia was adorable, curled up on the couch with her stuffed bear. "Your mommy's friend from work?" she asked innocently. Elena watched us with a soft smile as I read to Mia. Later, after the little one fell asleep, Elena and I sat on the balcony, stars twinkling above. "This means a lot, Alex. I haven't had someone like you in my life for so long." Our hands brushed, and for a moment, time stopped. But then her phone buzzed, her ex, calling about custody. The mood shattered. "I can't do this," she whispered, pulling away. "It's too complicated." I left that night feeling rejected, wondering if we'd ever bridge the gap. Months passed, a blur of work and suppressed feelings. The campaign we launched was a hit, earning the firm accolades. Elena got a promotion, which meant more responsibility, and more distance. I threw myself into side projects, even dating casually to distract myself. But nothing stuck. Then came the office spring gala, a black tie event to celebrate our successes. Elena was radiant in an emerald gown, but I could see the exhaustion in her eyes. "Long week?" I asked during a quiet moment by the bar. She sighed. "Mia wants a puppy, but with my schedule, and honestly, I'm lonely, Alex." The admission hit me hard. As the night progressed, drinks flowed. Elena had one too many, laughing freely for the first time in ages. When it was time to go, she wobbled on her heels. "Can't drive like this," she admitted. Echoing that holiday night, I offered, "I'll take you home." The drive was different this time, charged with unresolved tension. We talked about everything, dreams we'd shelved, fears we hid. "I admire you, Elena. You're strong, but you don't have to be alone." She looked at me, tears glistening. "And you, Alex? You're the kindest man I've known. Why haven't you found someone?" I swallowed. "Because the someone I want is right here." The words slipped out, and silence enveloped us. We arrived at her building, rain starting to fall. She turned, her hand on the door. "Alex, would you like to stay?" My heart raced. Stay? For coffee? For the night? For more? I searched her eyes, seeing vulnerability and desire mirrored back. But just as I leaned in, a car horn blared from behind, jolting us. It was her neighbor, pulling in late. The moment broke, and Elena laughed nervously. I mean, for a cup of coffee. To sober up. I nodded, parking the car. Inside her apartment, it was cozy, photos of Mia everywhere, bookshelves overflowing. We sat on the couch, coffee steaming. "I'm sorry if that was forward," she said. "The wine, but truthfully, I've felt this for months." I confessed the same. We talked deep into the night, sharing stories of past heartbreaks. Her divorce had left scars, she feared trusting again. What if it ends badly? Mia would be crushed. I understood, my own fears of rejection loomed large. But as dawn approached, we kissed. It was tentative at first, then passionate, like releasing a dam of emotions. The next morning brought reality. Waking up beside her, clothes on, mind you, we'd fallen asleep talking, panic set in. "What about work?" I asked. She bit her lip. "We keep it quiet for now. Figure it out." But secrets have a way of unraveling. That week, during a team meeting, our eyes met too long, and a colleague noticed. Rumors reignited, fiercer this time. Mr. Harlan called us in separately. "Is there something I should know?" he grilled. Elena denied it, but the stress showed. At home, Mia sensed something. "Mommy, are you okay?" The guilt weighed on Elena. "I can't risk my job or my daughter," she told me one evening, tears flowing. "Maybe we should stop." My world shattered. Was this the end? That was our second cliffhanger, torn between love and responsibility. Would we choose our hearts or our heads? I gave her space, focusing on work. Days turned to weeks, each interaction polite but strained. Then, disaster struck. The firm landed a massive client, but it required Elena to travel for a conference. Mia's sitter canceled last minute. Desperate, Elena called me. "Alex, I hate asking, but could you watch Mia? Just for the weekend." It was a test, of trust, of us. I agreed. Spending time with Mia was magical. We baked cookies, drew pictures, talked about her dreams. "I like you, Alex. You make mommy smile." When Elena returned, she found us laughing in the kitchen. "Thank you," she said, hugging me. That night, we confronted our fears. "I don't want to lose you," she admitted. "But we need boundaries." We decided to go public, slowly. First, HR. They were surprisingly supportive, as long as no favoritism. The office adjusted, some teased, but most cheered. Challenges persisted. Elena's ex caused drama over custody, using our relationship as ammunition. "She's unstable," he claimed in court. It was grueling, lawyers, testimonies. I stood by her, testifying to her strength as a mother. We won, solidifying our bond. My own insecurities surfaced too. I worried I wasn't enough for her world. But Elena reassured me, "You are my rock, Alex." As summer bloomed, so did we. Family outings with Mia, quiet dinners, stolen moments. One evening, under a starlit sky, I proposed, not with a ring, but a promise. "Elena, let's build a life together." She said yes, tears of joy. Looking back, that rainy night was our turning point. It taught us that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the gateway to true connection. Life's too short to hide behind walls. If you're facing your own crossroads, remember, take the risk. Open your heart. You might just find the love you've been waiting for. And if this story touched you, hit that like button and subscribe for more heartfelt tales. Thanks for watching.